In the fall of 2006, my grandpa was 66 at the time, and he was on his way to the grocery store to pick up some food to bring home. On his way to the grocery store, a driver in the other lane swerved into his lane, and my grandpa tells us that the road was definitely wide enough to just move to the side and proceed on. But he couldn't process what was happening quick enough and couldn't react quick enough, and ended up driving straight into the car, skidding out and hitting a light post on the right shoulder. He ended up being hospitalized for a couple of days and even weeks, and this left my family absolutely devastated. Thankfully, he was okay, but this opens the gateway to what I'm going to be talking about today. Diane Lade at Sun Sentinel, a Florida news source, tells us that Florida leads the nation in senior citizen accidents. She also tells us that Florida has a population of 3.3 million people who are over the age of 65, which is the highest out of all the 50 states, and that number is expected to rise to roughly 6 million by the year 2030. The reason to listen to my speech today is because death is involved, and death is never something to joke around about or take lightly, because it can happen to anyone at any time. Due to the ongoing effects that nature has on aging individuals, I feel that the driver's test should be retaken once you reach the age of 65. First, because drivers over the age of 65 hurt themselves and others on the road. Second, because motor skills and reflexes tend to slow down as you age. And finally, I'll be telling you why I think New Jersey should mandate a retest every 3 years once you reach the age of 65. Drivers over the age of 65 hurt people and themselves. Brian Teft from the Foundation for Traffic Safety, or AAA, writes about a study conducted in the years 2014 and 2015. In this study, he tells us that drivers aged 65 and older ranked second highest in accidents, just behind drivers aged 16 to 19. But the drivers who were aged 16 to 19 were just recently tested within the last 3 years. However, drivers aged 65 and older ranked highest in fatal car accidents. David Loughran from the RAND Corporation, which is a nonprofit organization that gives information to the government, tells us that drivers over the age of 65 cause 16% more accidents than any adult in the United States do. For these reasons, drivers over the age of 65 hurt themselves and others on the road, and now you see how dangerous they can be. Let me tell you why. As people age, their reflexes and motor skills tend to slow down. Kate Wilmot from Oxford Brookes University studies aging motor skills. She conducted tests on 122 subjects aged 20 to 81 and found that the older subjects tested much worse in motor skills, and bad motor skills can lead to slow decision making and slow reactions on the road, which can lead to many accidents. News 12 New Jersey also tells us that New Jersey is one of 35 states who have implemented a silver alert. A silver alert is a missing persons alert of a senior citizen who usually has dementia, Alzheimer's, or any other type of mental disorder. These people can develop these disorders and still have their licenses and still be driving, and no one will know except for them. And that's very dangerous to themselves on the road and everyone that they're passing and that they're around on the road. As people age, their reflex and motor skills definitely do slow down. That was proven by Kate Wilmot. And now that you know the causes that seem to hinder senior citizens driving, let me tell you my solution. Once citizens reach the age of 65, I feel the test should be retaken every 3 years. Matthias Gaffney, an investigative reporter for Mercury News in San Jose, California, wrote about a Santa Monica teen who was killed by a 91-year-old driver. This 91-year-old driver hit the car of the Santa Monica teen, and the teen instantly died on the spot. In interviews, it was found that the 91-year-old driver last took their driver's test in the year 1918, almost 80 years before. From what I've learned in history class, the U.S. in 1918 was a much different place than the U.S. is today. Some states do, however, require a vision test once you reach the age of 65, but I feel that that's not enough. And so does Jason Studinsky from Studinsky Law. He's a Wisconsin lawyer who focuses on automotive accidents, and on his website says that if a retest is an option, he believes that licenses should just be taken away. Today we talked about how drivers over the age of 65 hurt themselves and others, how motor skills and reflexes tend to slow down as you age, and my solution for this subject, that I think the test should be retaken every 3 years once you reach the age of 65. Many may say this is ageist against senior citizens, and that teenagers cause the same amount of accidents that senior citizens do, and maybe more. But teenagers were just recently tested within the last 3 years. At least the drivers who are 16 to 19 that lead the country in accidents were. Many may also say, how will these people get their groceries, things they need from the pharmacy, like everyday needs? Well, my grandparents have actually signed up for delivery from their grocery stores and their pharmacies, which is very easy to do, and almost every supermarket and pharmacy offers it. Walgreens once a week will deliver all the medicine that they need for that week, and Acme and ShopRite will deliver all the food they need that they either put in an order over the phone or that they put it in an order online, which is easily accessible to everyone nowadays. The safety of all, including senior citizens, should not be taken lightly, and I feel that the U.S. government and the New Jersey government should take a harder stand on the safety of all of us.